I never believed in love at first sound. But then again, I'd never heard a voice like hers crackling through my headset at 30,000 feet. One moment, I was a composed fighter pilot executing a textbook maneuver. The next, I was laughing mid-flight, forgetting my call sign, and wondering if turbulence could happen inside your chest. They say the sky is the limit, but what happens when someone's voice makes you forget how to fly straight? This is the story of how Luna, a wickedly funny air traffic controller with a voice like velvet and timing like a comedian, turned my perfectly controlled world into beautiful chaos. Buckle up. This landing is going to be anything but smooth. If you love stories about unexpected connections and heart-racing romance, subscribe to this channel for more incredible tales. My name is Captain Mia Torres, and I've been flying F-16s for the United States Air Force for 6 years. 6 years of discipline, precision, and absolutely zero surprises. I liked it that way. The sky was predictable when you knew the rules, and I knew every single one. It was a Tuesday morning at Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada, the kind of crystalline desert day where the sky stretches forever in shades of cobalt blue. I was suited up for what my flight plan promised would be a standard training exercise. Aerial maneuvers, tactical formations, nothing I hadn't done 100 times before. Viper 2-1, you are cleared for takeoff, runway 25 left, came the familiar voice of our usual controller, Martinez. Roger that, Tower. Viper 2-1 rolling, I responded, my gloved hands steady on the controls. The acceleration always sent adrenaline through my veins, that magnificent force pressing me back into my seat as 29,000 pounds of thrust launched me skyward. Within seconds, the rust-colored desert floor fell away, and I was where I belonged, alone with the sun, the sky, and the steady rhythm of my breathing. 40 minutes into the exercise, I was executing a barrel roll when a voice I'd never heard before came through my headset. Viper 2-1, this is Tower. Adjust heading to 090, altitude Angels 25. I blinked. The voice was different, smooth, confident, with a slight rasp that made every word sound deliberate. Definitely not Martinez. Tower, Viper 2-1, confirming heading 090, Angels 25, I replied, keeping my tone professional. Affirm, Viper 2-1. And just so you know, your barrel roll was textbook, smooth as butter. Almost made me spill my coffee. I nearly choked. Controllers didn't make comments like that. They certainly didn't mention their coffee. Copy that, Tower, I managed, trying not to smile inside my helmet. Tower here. Name's Luna. I'm new. Don't worry, I won't let you crash. Probably. Probably? I said before I could stop myself. 98% sure, maybe 95. Depends on whether you keep distracting me with those fancy moves. A laugh escaped me. An actual laugh. Mid-flight. Completely unprofessional. Tower, I'm just following orders. Sure you are, Viper 2-1. Anyway, you've got clear skies ahead. Try not to have too much fun up there without me. For the next 20 minutes, Luna guided me through the exercise with the kind of precision that made it clear she knew exactly what she was doing. But between the technical instructions, she'd slip in these perfectly timed observations. About the weather, about how my call sign sounded like a superhero name, about how flying looked way easier in Top Gun. You ever do that volleyball scene? She asked at one point. Tower, that's Navy. We're Air Force. Right. So, basketball? We mostly just fly planes. Riveting. You guys must be fun at parties. By the time I touched down, my cheeks hurt from smiling. I'd completed a flawless exercise, but for the first time in 6 years, I couldn't remember half of it. All I could remember was her voice. Warm, teasing, impossibly distracting. In the debriefing room, I sat with my wingman, Captain Jake Hawk Morrison. You good, Torres? He asked, raising an eyebrow. You seem off. I'm fine, I said quickly. You were laughing on the radio. I wasn't. You were. I heard you. Martinez never makes you laugh. That wasn't Martinez. Hawk leaned back, grinning like he'd just discovered classified information. Oh, do tell. New controller, Luna. She was just different. Different how? I shrugged, trying to appear casual. Funny, professional, I don't know. Hawk's grin widened. You're blushing. I am not. You absolutely are. Captain Mia Ice Queen Torres is blushing because of a voice. I threw my flight glove at him. Shut up, Hawk. But as I walked to my locker, I couldn't shake the feeling that something had shifted. I'd spent years building walls, staying focused, keeping everything controlled. And somehow, in less than an hour, a woman I'd never seen had made me forget every single one of those rules. I told myself it was nothing, just a pleasant distraction. I was completely wrong. Over the next 2 weeks, I volunteered for every training flight available. Suddenly, routine exercises became the highlight of my day. My squadron noticed. Torres, you're logging more flight hours than anyone else this month, Lieutenant Colonel Davis mentioned during a briefing. Everything okay? Just staying sharp, sir, I replied, keeping my expression neutral. Hawk snorted from across the room. I shot him a look that could melt titanium. The truth was, I couldn't help myself. Every time I climbed into that cockpit, there was a chance I'd hear Luna's voice. And when I did, the entire flight transformed. She had this uncanny ability to make military protocol sound like stand-up comedy. Viper 2-1, maintain current altitude. Also, fun fact, did you know that penguins have knees? Tower, that is, not relevant to this flight. Just keeping you educated up there, Captain. Knowledge is power. Is this what they taught you in ATC school? Absolutely. Page 47. Penguin Facts for Fighter Pilots. It's a whole module. Our conversations became a game. She'd throw out random observations, and I'd try not to laugh while executing complex maneuvers. It was wildly unprofessional. It was also the most fun I'd had in years. One afternoon, during a particularly challenging formation exercise, things got serious. I was flying in tight formation with 3 other jets when suddenly my left engine temperature spiked. Tower, Viper 2-1, I've got a warning light. Left engine temp is climbing. Luna's voice came back instantly, all humor gone. Copy, Viper 2-1. I need you to reduce throttle and brake formation. Heading 270. I'm clearing airspace. Her tone was calm, authoritative, absolutely focused. I followed her instructions precisely, my heart pounding. Temps stabilizing, I reported. Good. Keep monitoring. I've got emergency crews on standby, but I think you're okay. Just keep talking to me, Mia. She'd used my first name. In that moment, with adrenaline flooding my system and my jet potentially compromised, hearing her say my name felt like an anchor. I'm good, Luna. Engine's cooling down. That's my girl. Bring her home smooth. I landed without incident. The warning light had been a faulty sensor. Nothing serious. But as I climbed out of the cockpit, my hands were shaking. Not from fear. From the way Luna had guided me through it, her voice steady and sure, like she'd never doubted me for a second. I found myself walking toward the control tower before I even realized what I was doing. I'd never been inside. Pilots didn't usually visit ATC unless there was an official reason. I didn't have an official reason. I had barely reached the entrance when Hawk intercepted me. Where are you going? Just checking something. You're going to see her. I don't know what you're... Torres. You're still in your flight suit. You have helmet hair, and you're heading straight for the tower like it's a combat mission. I ran a hand through my hair self-consciously. Is it that obvious? Painfully. I hesitated. Do you think I'm crazy? Hawk's expression softened. I think you've been married to this job for 6 years. I think you deserve to smile like you did today. And I think whoever's up there making the Ice Queen blush deserves a chance. That night, I lay in my quarters staring at the ceiling. I'd faced enemy aircraft, flown through storms, made split-second decisions at supersonic speeds. But the thought of actually meeting Luna face to face terrified me more than any of it. What if she wasn't interested? What if the flirting was just her personality? What if I'd built up this entire connection in my head? What if she was absolutely perfect and I had no idea what to do about it? My phone buzzed. An email from base administration about a meet-and-greet event for new personnel. Casual, optional, happening Friday night at the officers' club. Luna would probably be there. I spent the next 3 days simultaneously planning to go and convincing myself not to. Friday arrived with the kind of nervous energy I usually reserved for combat missions. I changed outfits 4 times before settling on dark jeans and a leather jacket. Casual enough to seem effortless, but nice enough to show I'd tried. Hawk picked me up at 7. You look terrified, he observed. I'm not terrified. Your hands are shaking. That's just residual adrenaline. From what? You haven't flown today. Shut up and drive. The officers' club was packed. Off-duty personnel mingled around high-top tables. Country music played from speakers, and the smell of bar food filled the air. I scanned the crowd, my heart hammering. What does she look like? Hawk asked. I have no idea. You've been obsessed with this woman for 2 weeks and you don't know what she looks like? It wasn't about what she looks like. Well, it's about to be. I spotted a group of new controllers near the bar. Their uniforms gave them away. 3 men, 2 women. One of the women had dark hair pulled back in a ponytail. The other had short blonde hair and was laughing at something. Her whole face lit up. The blonde turned, and our eyes met across the room. I knew. Instantly. Completely. Luna. She was stunning. Sharp features, bright hazel eyes, and easy confidence in the way she moved. She said something to her colleagues, then started walking toward me. My brain stopped functioning. Breathe, Torres, Hawk whispered, then disappeared into the crowd. Luna stopped in front of me, a playful smile on her lips. Viper 2-1. My voice came out steadier than I expected. Tower? Luna Castellanos. She extended her hand. Mia Torres. I shook it, her grip firm and warm. We stood there for a beat too long, still holding hands, until Luna laughed. So this is weird, right? So weird, I agreed, relieved. I had this whole speech prepared, something witty and cool. It's completely gone. Same. Want to start over? Please. She cleared her throat dramatically. Hi, I'm Luna. I talk to pilots for a living. I have an unhealthy obsession with true crime podcasts, and I think your barrel rolls are criminally underrated. I couldn't help but smile. Hi, I'm Mia. I fly expensive government property, I can't function before coffee, and I think your penguin facts saved my life. See? We're basically best friends already. We grabbed drinks and found a quieter corner. The conversation flowed like we'd known each other for years. Luna told me about growing up in San Diego, her Mexican-American family's insistence that she become a doctor, and her rebellious decision to join the Air Force instead. My abuela still introduces me as Luna, who could have been a surgeon, she said, rolling her eyes affectionately. My mom introduces me as Mia, who never calls, I countered. Do you? Call? Not enough. Same. We talked about everything: favorite movies, worst military meals, the absurdity of military bureaucracy. Luna had opinions about everything, delivered with perfect comic timing. Honestly, whoever decided flight suits should have 17 zippers deserves to be court-martialed, she declared. It's functional. It's a puzzle. You guys look like you're wearing tactical sleeping bags. I laughed so hard I nearly spilled my drink. Around midnight, the crowd had thinned. We'd somehow moved closer together, our knees almost touching. Can I confess something? Luna asked, her voice softer. Sure. I switched shifts to cover your flights. My heart skipped. You did? Yeah. I told myself it was because you're one of the better pilots, less likely to do something stupid and give me a heart attack. But really, I just wanted to talk to you. I volunteered for extra flights, I admitted. Told everyone I was staying sharp. But I was hoping you'd be there. We're both idiots. Complete idiots. Luna's smile turned mischievous. So what do we do about it? I have absolutely no idea. I'm normally very good at plans. Want to wing it? That's a terrible pilot pun. I know, I'm proud of it. I leaned in slightly. I don't actually know what I'm doing here. This isn't something I usually... Me neither, Luna said quietly. But I'd like to try, if you would. Yeah, I breathed. Yeah, I really would. We left the club together, walking across the base under stars so bright they looked close enough to touch. Luna's hand brushed mine, and I took it, our fingers intertwining like it was the most natural thing in the world. Everything was about to get wonderfully complicated. Dating on a military base, I quickly discovered, was like trying to maintain stealth while setting off fireworks. Everyone noticed. Everyone had opinions. Torres and the new controller. I give it 2 weeks, I overheard in the mess hall. Nah, Torres is too serious. She'll get bored. I wanted to correct them, but Luna grabbed my arm. Let them talk. Their predictions will make our success so much sweeter. Our success? Oh, I'm playing the long game, Captain. That confidence should have been reassuring. Instead, it made me nervous. What if I wasn't good at this? I was excellent at flying, decent at tactics, but relationships. That was uncharted territory. Our first official date was a disaster in the best way. I'd planned a nice dinner at a restaurant in Las Vegas, 40 minutes from base. Professional, romantic, normal. I picked Luna up at 6. She looked incredible in a green dress that matched her eyes, her blonde hair styled in soft waves. You look... I gestured vaguely, my brain malfunctioning. Like I tried too hard? Like you're going to make me forget how to drive. She laughed. Well, let's hope not. I'd like to actually make it to dinner. We made it 15 minutes before hitting traffic. An accident had closed the interstate. We sat there, not moving, for an hour. This is not ideal, I said, gripping the steering wheel. Are you always this tense? I had a plan. Plans change. It's okay. But I wanted... Mia. Luna turned in her seat. I'm sitting in a car with you. We're talking. This is already a good date. We're stuck in traffic. So? I've had dates where guys spent the whole time talking about their ex or their crypto investments. You're stuck in traffic and worried you're disappointing me. That's actually kind of sweet. We never made it to the restaurant. Instead, we ended up at a small diner off the highway, eating pancakes at 8 p.m. and laughing about the absurdity of it all. Best first date ever? Luna asked, stealing a bite of my waffle. Absolutely not, But somehow, yeah, kind of. You're such a romantic. I'm working on it. The complications multiplied. Our schedules rarely aligned. When I had morning flights, Luna worked nights. When she had days off, I was in training exercises. We stole moments between shifts, quick coffees, late-night phone calls, texts that made me smile at inappropriate moments during briefings. "You're distracted, Torres," Colonel Davis said during one meeting. "Sorry, sir." Hawk, sitting next to me, smirked. He knew exactly why. The real test came during a joint training exercise. I was flying a simulated combat mission, and Luna was on ATC duty. We'd agreed to keep things completely professional. That lasted approximately 10 minutes. "Viper 2-1, bandit on your 6, climbing." Luna's voice was crisp. I executed an evasive maneuver. "Can't shake him." "Break right. Descend to Angels 15. Trust me." I did. The simulated enemy pilot overshot. "How did you know that would work?" I asked. "Because I know how you fly. You're aggressive but smart. I knew you'd commit." "That's actually impressive." "I pay attention, Captain." After landing, my squadron leader pulled me aside. "Torres, your coordination with ATC today was exceptional. Whatever you're doing, keep it up." I fought back a smile. "Yes, sir." Luna and I started a friendly competition. She claimed she could predict my flight patterns. I claimed she was just getting lucky. "Bet you can't guess my next maneuver," I challenged during a training flight. "Split S followed by an Immelman turn." "You always do that when you're showing off." I executed exactly that before I realized what I was doing. "You're predictable, Torres." "I am not." "You absolutely are. It's adorable. This is a military frequency. And I'm giving you tactical feedback. You need to be less predictable in combat." She wasn't wrong, but I'd never admit it. Our relationship became base gossip. Some people were supportive. Others thought it was inappropriate. A few made bets on how long we'd last. One evening, Luna showed up at my door upset. "Someone filed a complaint," she said. "Said we were being unprofessional on the radio." My stomach dropped. "Who?" "Anonymous. But they're reviewing our communications." "Luna, I don't want to cost you your career." "You won't. We haven't done anything wrong." "Haven't we?" The flirting, the jokes. "We're always secondary to the job. You're an excellent controller. I'm a good pilot. We're allowed to be human." She looked at me, vulnerable in a way I'd never seen. "What if they make us choose?" I pulled her close. "Then we fight. Together." The review cleared us. Our communications were professional where it mattered. But it served as a reminder that our relationship existed in a complicated space. We adapted, became more careful, found ways to be together that didn't compromise our duties. And somehow, through all the complications, we only grew closer. 3 months into dating Luna, I realized something terrifying. I was completely, irreversibly in love with her. It hit me during a routine flight. She was guiding me through a navigation exercise, her voice calm and steady, and I thought, I want to hear this voice every day for the rest of my life. Then I nearly flew through my assigned altitude because I was too busy having an emotional crisis at 30,000 feet. "Viper 2-1, you okay up there?" Luna asked, concern edging into her tone. "Affirm, Tower, just distracted." "By what? The view?" Something like that. I needed to tell her. But how? I'd never said those words to anyone. I'd spent my entire adult life avoiding exactly this kind of vulnerability. Hawk found me in the hangar after I landed, staring at my jet like it held answers. "You look like someone who's about to do something either really brave or really stupid," he observed. I'm in love with her. Yeah, Torres. Everyone knows. Everyone? You look at her like she hung the moon. It's disgusting. Also adorable. Mostly disgusting. I don't know how to tell her. Have you tried using words? I hear they're effective. I glared at him. I'm serious. So am I. Mia, you're a fighter pilot. You fly into danger for a living. You can tell a woman you love her. He made it sound simple. It wasn't. I planned it for a week, rehearsed different speeches, considered skywriting. Rejected skywriting as too cheesy. Considered it again anyway. In the end, the moment chose itself. Luna and I had a rare day off together. We drove out to Red Rock Canyon, just outside Vegas, for a hike. The desert landscape was stunning. Rust-red rocks against impossibly blue sky, the kind of vast openness that made everything else seem small. We climbed to an overlook and sat on the warm stone, sharing water and trail mix. I love this, Luna said, gazing at the horizon. No radios, no schedules, just quiet. It's nice, I agreed. You're being weird. I'm not. You are. You've been weird all week. What's going on? I took a breath. Here, in the middle of nowhere, with no one to overhear or judge. It felt possible. I'm in love with you. Luna turned to me, eyes wide. What? I'm in love with you, I repeated, my voice steadier. I realized it a few weeks ago, and I've been trying to find the perfect way to tell you, but there isn't one. So I'm just telling you. Here. Now. I love you. She stared at me for what felt like an eternity. Luna, say something. Anything. Even if it's... She kissed me. Sudden. Fierce. Perfect. When we finally broke apart, she was smiling that brilliant smile that had first captivated me through a radio. I love you too, you beautiful disaster of a human. Beautiful disaster? You planned this, didn't you? Rehearsed it? Maybe. And you still look terrified. I was terrified. I know. It was perfect. She kissed me again, softer this time. I've loved you since you laughed at my penguin fact. I was just waiting for you to catch up. We sat there as the sun began to set, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, her head on my shoulder. So what now? I asked. Now we keep flying, keep building this, see where it goes. Nah, that's very vague for someone who guides planes for a living. Some things don't need precise coordinates, Mia. Some things you navigate by feel. 6 months later, Luna moved into my place off base. A year after that, I proposed during a sunset flight. I'd finally convinced her to go up with me, and at 10,000 feet, with the world spread below us, I asked her to marry me. She said yes before I'd even finished the question. 2 years after that first flight, we stood in front of our friends, family, and half the base, exchanging vows. Hawk was my best man. Luna's sister was her maid of honor. Colonel Davis attended in full dress uniform, looking suspiciously emotional. You know, Luna whispered during our first dance. Everyone said we wouldn't last. Everyone was wrong. Feels good to prove them wrong. Feels better to be here with you. She laughed. You've gotten better at the romantic stuff. I had a good teacher. Yeah? Yeah. This stubborn, funny, incredible woman kept showing up. Wouldn't let me hide. Made me believe I could have this. You can have anything, Mia. You're extraordinary. We're extraordinary. The song ended, but we kept swaying, lost in each other, barely noticing when everyone else joined us on the dance floor. I'd spent my life in the sky, chasing an elusive sense of freedom and purpose. I'd found both. But the greatest discovery wasn't up there in the blue. It was here, on the ground, in the arms of a woman whose voice had changed everything, who'd taught me that the best flights are the ones you don't take alone. Clear skies ahead, indeed. Thank you for listening to this story all the way to the end. If you enjoyed Mia and Luna's journey, please subscribe to our channel for more heartwarming tales of love, laughter, and unexpected connections. Your support means everything.